Hello, this is Adam with DreamMade Productions. This video is made possible by the very kind donations of viewers like you. Thank you. If you are in a position to help this channel improve quality and grow, please visit my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/DreamMadeProductions, linked below. So, I just finished playing through Far Cry 5. Now, I don't do reviews. There are tons and tons of people on YouTube and the internet as a whole that have that angle more than covered. Plus, it takes me ages to finish playing a game, if I ever finish it at all. Normally, I get through one, maybe 2 games a year. Last year, it was Elden Ring and Final Fantasy 16. This year, it's looking to be Far Cry 5 and maybe the Elden Ring DLC. It just depends on when I can start that. Plus, after decades in the video game hobby space, I have learned you always wait for the game to come out, and for honest reviews to come out. I'm just too old and broke to buy buggy pieces of shit anymore. Or garbage story diversity games. Or pay-to-win live service. You get the idea. Anyway, so it is not going to be a review of Far Cry 5. It's just going to be me yammering on about it and kind of how it struck me after playing the main story and most of the side missions. I'll warn you if there's going to be anything spoiler for a, almost 7-year-old video game. It's not unreasonable to ask for non-spoilers on old games. Hell, I have Super Nintendo games I want to get to one day. I just have the base game, not the New Dawn DLC or any of the online content. I didn't play online or multiplayer or use any user maps or stuff like that. Just what was on the disc when I bought it used from a local game store for about $10. For context here, I am not a Far Cry fan. In fact, this is my first full Far Cry experience. I played some of a Far Cry game back on PC a very long time ago. I think it was Far Cry 3. The island one where you are like partying and all hell breaks loose. It's been a while and I did not play very much. I got Far Cry 5 mostly because it was cheap. I was in the mood to shoot something with modern-ish graphics. Something I could play for a while without feeling bad if I had to turn it off, or turn it off and not get back to it. Last year, I grabbed Far Cry 5 and of course got busy and never even started the thing. A few months ago, I pulled it off the shelf and slapped the thing into my PS4. Then waited the 700 years for the PS4 to update, install the game, update the game, and get signed in. The opening was nuts. The crazy cult, clearly based on the Branch Davidians. Calm down, YouTube. I'm not going into that. Look it up if you want to know. And of course, you are the only one free, with your fellow law enforcement officers in the clutches of the cult leaders. Now, with this game taking place in what seems to be modern day-ish, it's really hard to tell. You don't have a cell phone, and there are tons of corded phones everywhere. Maybe this is supposed to be in the 80s? 90s? I kind of took it that the game developers' view of a backward, middle-of-nowhere Midwest farming town. Anyway, this takes place in times that at least automatic weapons and corded phone technology exists. So, instantly you have to turn your brain off. In the beginning, after the shit hits the fan, I think there is 1 or 2 lines about how the cult has all the roads cut off and the phone lines cut and are somehow jamming all transmissions in and out of the county. So, despite being in the middle of the USA, the cult manages to effectively take over your world. This cult is also some of the most numerous douches on the planet. By the end of this game, you have killed hundreds, if not thousands of these motherfuckers, and they never slow down. These bitches even have World War II style attack aircraft and helicopter gunships. Anyway, foolishness aside, you are the only hope the decent people of Hope County have left. A sole rookie sheriff deputy looking to build a civilian resistance to the cult's takeover. The situation starts off looking hopeless. Your friends are gone, you are alone with nothing but some clothes a friendly guy named Dutch gave you, and I think a pistol. Maybe a board with a nail in it. However, what the cult didn't take into account is that you must have come from the same people that trained James Bond. You are a crack shot with virtually all firearms, including bows and slingshots. You're an expert with explosives. You can kill virtually anyone with 1 or 2 punches. You can drive boats, cars, tractor trailers, aircraft, and helicopters with ease. You can survive long falls, helicopter crashes, car crashes, along with other bone-crushing, organ-mulching death fests. Plus, you can get a magic parachute that somehow deploys in just 5 feet of fall, and so then instantly repacks itself. I know, it's a video game. I can still accept that. Still, with all you can do, including outfighting a member of the 82nd Airborne, I think a better backstory should have been addressed. Just steal the under siege dude is a Navy SEAL? Or something. Anyway, back to the game. I'm not trying to dunk on the game. I had a lot of fun. Dealing with the cult had some pretty good set pieces. I can say that the most fun I had was at the beginning, when you are alone, underpowered-ish, and you have to scramble to take out cult members and get better weapons and equipment. You can go after the cult leaders in any way you want, but the game gives you the guidance to terrorize John first. So that's what I did. I had most of my fun in the opening hours of the game. These types of games, I tend to use the same time-tested strategy. Carefully map out my attack, sneak around stealthily, taking down the guards as planned. Then screwing up about halfway or less through, going, fuck, and slaughtering my way through the rest. It worked in the original Assassin's Creed, and it continues to work here. Although, side note, Ghosts of Tsushima is far superior to the open-world Ubisoft games, and on that game's hardest setting, I had a lot of fun. Here, I ran into the problem I always run into. Once I get powered up, there is no stopping me. Only I can stop me. Or if the game pulls something cheesy, like spawning a dude with a rocket launcher or flamethrower right next to you. Or I get careless, both of which happened far more at the end than at the beginning. Once I bought a few guns and equipped extended magazines, suppressors, which don't even get me started on, improved scopes and the like, there was no stopping me. Having access early to helicopters and aircraft with heavy machine guns, bombs, and rockets also made things laughably easy. For those of you wanting to play the game and be surprised, let me sum things up here. It was fun. It was worth the $10 and the hours that I put into it. I liked that the game didn't just dunk on crazy gun nuts. Sure, the cult was over the top. So far over the top it can't see the ground anymore. But it also showed an armed and patriotic group of country folk standing up to the cult trying to take over their lives. Capturing an enemy base almost always ends with the people tearing down the cult flag and raising up Old Glory. So if you want to get into some mostly fun gun battles, and you can pick up the game for $10 or less, give it a shot. Much more than $20, I'd say save your money. Now, let me make this perfectly clear. I'm moving into spoilers here. I'm going to talk about shit that happens in the game, including its endings. If you want to be surprised, especially by the endings, walk now. I'll wait. Good? Okay. So, I had the most fun fighting John. I was the weakest at that time, and his crazy televangeler angle was creepy. I fought Jacob next, leaving Faith for last. Jacob was a total mindfuck that actually had me surprised at the twist. Faith was dumb. I'm sorry. The mind control drug angle was okay. It's just, I had just been through a mind control angle with Jacob, so it was repetitive. Plus her boss fight was fucking stupid. The rest of the game you could walk away with the everything was played, let's be nice and go with realistic. I know. Let's just call it that. With Faith, they straight up gave her fucking superpowers. She flies around shooting energy balls at you. I wanted to grab the Master Sword. Jacob I liked. It got me good with his mind control. You are forced to go through the same exercise again and again. Grab a gun, going through a training course. You are timed, but instead of targets, there are soldiers that disappear in a puff of smoke. By the time of the twist, I had done the course so many times that I did not realize something had changed. What changed was that the mind control took effect in the middle of your bunker, and you just killed your buddy. I did what I was supposed to do without thinking. I was even bored when it happened. The game trained me to go through this shooting course, and I had done it enough times that I was rushing through thinking, not this again. I didn't even realize the guy I shot at the end of the course was the guy who saved me at the beginning of the chapter. Very clever design there. Of course, they ruin it all by having Jacob freeze time and stand around gloating. Somehow. I guess he has superpowers too, come to think of it. Anyway, it would have been so much better if you just snapped out of it, with the people in the bunker screaming at you, with you, the player, and the character realizing what you had just done. They set it up perfectly, then tripped at the finish line. So sad. John had about the best death. You get into a dogfight with his plane while he is trying to escape, then hunt him down after he bails out, and you just leave him to die. Pretty good. The game, of course, has its own twist endings. Now, there is a secret ending that I did not know about until I saw it on YouTube. At the beginning of the game, you are not given a choice. You are told to cuff the cult leader, and there is only X to press. So I did. Well, if you just sit there for long enough without pressing anything, you walk off and the game credits roll since, well, nothing happened. It was your actions that triggered the cult takeover. I think this is the good ending. It means you got a good look at the army the cult built, and instead of trying to arrest the crazy leader with just you, a rookie deputy, an elderly sheriff, and a U.S. Marshal determined to do his best custard impression, you walk away and don't go through all the BS, and come back with the FBI and a sizable portion of the National Guard. Or that's what should have happened in my opinion. Anyway, after you kill all the leaders, you return to the game's beginning and confront the big baddie. Somehow, off-screen, without you noticing, he has captured all your friends and allies and brainwashed them. All of them. You are then given the choice: walk away or resist. Joseph promises if you walk away and leave him in peace, he will let you go. Oddly enough, he keeps his word. I chose walk away because in my mind, all my friends were going to die. I figured I would do what should have happened at the beginning. We look at the 100-foot statue of Joseph Seed on the way to their compound with the freaking 50 cows around it and decide, maybe a better plan than a few local sheriffs and a crazy, overly zealous U.S. Marshal is needed. So you drive away, the sheriff being the reasonable one saying you are going to get the National Guard. Then the mind control music plays, the screen turns red, and credits roll, heavily implying that the mind control Jacob used on you caused you to kill the survivors. Let's call it a bad ending. The real ending is, of course, you choose to fight. You take on your friends, shooting them, then reviving them to get them back on your side. I do admit bullets tend to be a very effective cure for mind control, but tend to have the minor side effect of being fatal. This is a very video game fight, with you slowly taking your friends down, then reviving them until it's all hands versus Joseph. After taking round after round after round, he finally goes down, like with a bruise or something, and everyone moves in to arrest him. All the other cult leaders you just killed and left their bodies to rot. The correct reply, by the way. But for whatever reason, you decide, nope. Only the eldest of the Seed siblings deserves a trial, so you take him in, just in time for all this crazy prophecy to come true with a nuclear blast going off in the distance. Now, this stuns your friends. I mean, understandably so. When I saw this, I thought the cult had done it, that these crazy douchebags somehow got their hands on a warhead and nuked the shitty little town that you have to make their prophecy come true. Turns out I was wrong. It's World War III, and for some reason, middle of nowhere Montana is a key target for multiple nuclear strikes. Your allies wander off, leaving you, Joseph Seed, and the other law enforcement characters there. Your radio buddy, Dutch, calls you up telling you to haul-tail it to his bunker, on account for what the First Secession War's great houses would call a minor disagreement. And for whatever reason, you decide to take Joseph with you. This ends about as well as you would expect, with you surviving a truck crash and Joseph saving your life, just to kill your buddy Dutch, and the two of you to spend the rest of the nuclear apocalypse together in what I assume will be a wacky new sitcom, Cult Leader and the Rookie, the new odd couple. With those spoilers out of the way, I'll just say, if you can pick it up for a bargain, it's worth playing. Give it a try and have some fun dealing with the cult. I'll drop more of these videos as I finish games. At this rate, I'll be popping in the 7th saga in about 300 years. Let me know below what you would like my thoughts on. Are you a fan of Far Cry? How was 5 compared to the others? Let me know that below. And as always, I hope you enjoy the battle reps that are to come. Hello, this is Adam with Dream Made Productions. Thank you for watching my content. It really means a lot that you have given me the chance to entertain you. If you would like to support the channel, please visit my Patreon at patreon.com/DreamMadeProductions, linked below. Also below is a link for PayPal, or links if you would like to send crypto, if that's more your thing. Please know any amount that you give will be cherished and used to upgrade equipment and improve the channel. You can also help the channel by subscribing, turning on notifications, liking, commenting, and sharing my channel with anyone you think might be interested. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you enjoy the battle reps that are to come.